Slack Adjusters back at it once again. What's up, Tim?
What's going on, Salim?
I beat you to the punch, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of the Slack Adjusters with myself, Tim Motivates, and my silly partner,
Salim V World.
Yes, sir. Man, we got a special guest today, Salim.
Okay.
Me and this dude go way back.
Way back.
Talking about like red light, green light.
That's way back.
Red light, green light, man. He a big dog in the industry, man.
Okay.
If you're familiar with Moreland Avenue, Conley, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Big truck territory. This brother is, we go way back to high school, man, and, he's been so gracious to join us here. Bring him to the stage, Salim. Mr. Alex Humphrey, what's up, my brother?
How y'all doing today?
Good, man. Good.
Doing good, man. Today, people, we got Alex Humphrey of Alex Mobile Truck Repair, Inc. out of Conley, Georgia. And don't let the name fool you. It's a big old shop they got down there, man. If y'all familiar with the area, it's over there by Old Dominion. If you know what Old Dominion is on the south side, it's on the same road. Just keep rolling down there. They down on the left. Very impressive shop. Alex, if you want to talk a little bit about your shop, it was your dad's shop, right?
Yes.
Okay. How long was he? Have y'all been in business?
We've been in business since 1990.
1990. Boy, almost. I was born around that time. I think you were too.
Man, yeah, I was just born for the most part.
Celine been around since the 70s, though. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Oh, that back.
I'm an 80s baby. But yeah, that's a long time, man. It's good. Yeah. This is good. Is your father still with us?
No, he passed away in 21.
Okay.
My condolences, my brother.
Oh yeah, for sure. I appreciate it.
Left you with a lot of knowledge, huh? You got.
Oh yeah, he definitely did. Truly, left me with a lot.
Okay. Well, then, how old were you when you first turned your first wrench?
15.
Nice.
15, 16. It was on and off from school. When I had nothing to do, he made me come to the shop. First, he had me starting really cleaning, doing all of that out the gate.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't want to do that. So I almost wanted to walk away. But that was his way of introducing me to the repair side of the game. And when it's your parents' operation, you don't really take it as serious.
Yeah.
Since he's been doing this whole life and me being heavy in sports, I didn't take it real serious, but I always was in and out. He was helping me make money and teaching me at the same time. And I didn't know how valuable that was being young.
Yeah, man. So, when I first met you, Alex, I think, did you go to Salem or no?
No, I went to Austin Road. I went from Henry County to DeKalb.
Okay, so it was at MLK. We played football together. I know I played my 9th through 11th grade year. Did you play all 4 years up there? Football?
No, I just played 1 year of football because I came from Cedar Grove. Came from Cedar Grove, and I was out of jurisdiction. I did the address thing.
Yeah.
So, where the shop is, he dropped me off at Cedar Grove.
Yeah.
You can go straight to work. So I went there for about a year, and that's when MLK was new.
Yep.
Yeah, I had like maybe just a sophomore class.
Okay.
And when I got that junior class, I came on over from there.
Okay, so I remember you playing football with us. I know you was heavy on the baseball too. Had no idea you was turning wrenches on the weekends and stuff like that. My dad owned a construction business, and a lot of people don't know I was out there operating heavy equipment on the weekends and stuff, and digging ditches and helping him with like utility work. So, it's kind of cool how our fathers kind of mold us up to do, kind of what they do. And I guess my follow-up question was it your goal to be a mechanic overall?
No, I went to school to be an accountant.
Accountant, okay.
Went to school, you kind of shy away from that when your parents have something lined up, and I kind of shied away from it. But every time I came home from college and everything, I would be working there.
Yeah.
And crazy enough, I could not get a job out of college to be an accountant. No matter how nice my resume was, I
Wow.
did taxes on the side.
Wow.
I could not get a job no matter for nothing. So I think truly God chose my path because
Uh-huh.
I was still working there every day,
Yeah.
but I was still trying to leave it.
That's crazy, man. You
And
hear
it,
that a
and
lot
it could
too.
not get a job at all.
That's insane because my CPA, he's a black CPA, and he was
Mhm.
saying there's a very small numbers of black people, men in CPAs or in
Mm-hmm.
accounts period, I guess. And you say that, I mean, you say that. What do you think was the holdup as far as was it a lack of experience coming out of school? Was it that it's just the timing was bad? What was that?
I think it's a lack of experience because somebody got to hire you with no experience to be able to gain some
Right,
experience. You know what I mean?
right,
I'm like, man,
Mm-hmm.
ain't nobody gonna let me in the door.
right, right.
So I went off to still working with my dad. I went to Ryder.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They hired me then the first week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to know what it felt like to have a job outside of working for my dad. I tried GameStop, Wendy's, like just to even, just try something different. I
Yeah.
could
Right,
not get a job.
right,
So,
right.
but then Ryder calls me. I was like, oh snap,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
y'all want me?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know? And I was
yeah.
already 5, 6 years in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there to make a long story short with my dad. If you don't complete jobs, you don't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
You got to
Okay.
complete work to get paid. Rider system, you don't have to like. They don't make their money off the mechanics. They big on PMs
Uh-huh.
and all of that. So mechanics were actually kind of sorry.
Yeah.
Mm.
They were not good at all.
Mm-hmm.
I
Wow.
had mechanics telling me like, man, slow down. You make you like
Yeah,
making us look bad. If you give
yeah,
me a all
yeah,
wheel brake job,
yeah.
they go off of they could put their time in.
Uh-huh.
They give you 8 hours for all rear wheel brake job. And so I
Wow.
do it in a half a day. So I get the other 4 hours to do nothing.
Right.
I watch a guy sit there and do a CPM took him all day
Mm.
on a PM. So it
He
was
milked that PM.
he was milking.
Wow.
So if you was a decent mechanic, if you was decent,
Yeah.
that system would ruin you because you'll never get back inside the engine.
Mm-hmm.
You'll
Mm.
never really gain that real experience. So I work with my dad during the day and I work there at night.
Okay.
And what I learned from them was more on the computer side. My dad wasn't big on the computer side. He was more
Mm.
old school ways.
Yeah.
Ryder introduced me to the uh diagnostic link for Detroit, CAT engines, the CAT ET software,
Mm-hmm.
the Volvo software, the Cummins software. And they sent you to class for that. And they sent me to class for all those different programs. And I took that from them and brought it back to my dad. And then working for somebody, you could say the equality thing. Man, I'm seeing guys sitting there getting paid well doing nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm working hard like this. I already got something set up. Why do all that when I could just do exactly and be my own boss at the same time?
Yeah.
But at the time, didn't know how important that was. Like as it is now, like
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got to go through that grunt work of starting from the ground up when my dad already put it in place since I was
So yeah.
young.
Mm-hmm. The prodigal son returns, huh?
Yeah, he never pressured me. That's what crazy enough. If I didn't
Mm.
come, he was gonna sell the whole thing.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. You are you
Yeah,
the only child?
there's three of us. I
You the
got
only boy?
two boys, one girl. I got a
Okay.
younger brother.
Okay.
Ain't none of them want to do it.
Nobody
They
want to
still don't
touch you.
want to do it. Yeah, I'm by myself on this one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool story though. So you go inside the engine 100%, like you yourself can touch that engine inside and out.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. Do you touch that engine inside and out?
Yeah. We was big on major maintenance.
Mm,
I don't like PMs. I don't like oil changes like that.
all right.
So we would send people to speed code, like, man, they get a
Yeah,
better deal. They
yeah.
did a bulk, save some money, let speed code gonna knock you out. But some of my customers was like, They don't like speed coat.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't like it. I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. I do the PM. It's not a problem. And so we was always been big on major maintenance.
Sure.
And the reason why I'm gonna say, cause I could talk all day,
Mm-hmm.
like, cause there's a lot of history behind it. When we moved here from Louisiana,
Okay, didn't know
and you
that.
could say, the black and white thing. My dad started at Nally, which is now
Mm-hmm.
called Rush,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and he had to learn by visually looking because they would not give him the jobs to gain experience.
Wow.
The guy they had him follow, mom, he was already experienced from coming from Shreveport. He was in the army, so he was already doing well in it. But we moved from there to Georgia for a better opportunity. That's what brought us here.
Okay.
And so he was a real go getter at it. And just to make a long story short, he realized that people that look like him didn't have the opportunity to really gain real knowledge.
Right.
Mm.
So he hired, anybody and everybody, but he wanted to give people like you, myself, younger people the opportunity to get in the engine, like
Yeah.
really deep dive versus just being a PM tech.
Right.
So he wanted to be skilled in more than one engine. So I was blessed to be able to touch the cat, the Cummins, and the Detroit. I'm not a fan of Pack car, and you can keep the Max Force too.
Oh,
Okay.
nobody wants that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you will you mess with the pack car or no?
No, I don't even, because that's one of them softwares that's like Volvo. They want you to invest fully in their stuff, and they're not trying to give out the information like that.
Still locked out. It's still a new software too.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Even their own mechanics don't like their own engine.
Mm.
They go to class for it, and they don't even like it.
It's
Mm-hmm.
uh
So
it's it's but is it a solid engine still?
no,
Man, don't say that, man.
no.
I got a pack
Every
car.
every
I ain't never
one,
huh?
huh?
I got a pack car. It's never gave
I
me no
figured it sound
problems.
like you had one.
I'm not living and dying or swearing by it, but it hasn't given me no issues, and we don't run it to the ground either. So,
Right. I mean,
like,
I've heard people that's had one of the good ones out
yeah,
the factory that ran well,
Yeah.
okay,
but when they do break down, man, they really in your pocket.
okay, I can see that.
You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
can see
Like,
that.
and when you do break down on the side of the road in another state, that's when it gets bad.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because a mobile guy go say, mama, they're gonna charge you a minimum 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do all of that, and then turn around, send you straight to the dealer anyway.
Damn.
Because most of them ain't gonna have the software.
Yeah, to read
So
it and do whatever they got to do.
yeah, they'll waste their time like, as far as I can go. You still gotta pay for their time and still gotta tow it to the dealer, and the dealer gonna hold your truck for a
Mm-hmm.
few days, and they know that.
So when
Mm.
So
somebody
it
come
was
in your
just,
shop with it, I'm sorry to interrupt. Somebody
are
come
you
in your
good?
shop with a pack car. Like, do you automatically turn them away, or you just like
I
you
said,
just turn them away?
I don't have the software for it.
Yeah.
I don't have the software for it, and I had to let them go. I won't waste your time.
Yeah.
If I can't fix it, it's just as bad as me lying. Like, yeah, I can work on it. And you looking at like, when we gonna get done? I'm like, maybe this week. I'm a lot of whole time and like,
Yeah.
I still need time. I'm not gonna put myself in that situation, let alone another driver.
Very wise man. Well, so let me ask you this, Alex.
Y-
What would you say is the hardest part about being a diesel mechanic?
The hardest part,
Too many to
mm,
name?
it's a lot. It depends on the situation. I say the hardest part is
Busted knuckles.
that too. I bust my knuckle today alone, man. Blood clot gonna be there in about 2 weeks worrying about my
Yeah,
nail.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's all good. I think the hardest part is where the economy is with drivers. If drivers got paid well, I feel like they'll be a little more patient.
Okay.
The pressure is more now than it was. You could say when I started, drivers that was getting paid good, they could wait a day or so. Like, let me know when you're done. Now they're like, will I get it
Yeah,
back today?
yeah.
Like they'll even call like, hey, you think,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that's the hardest part, and trying to help you save money, and you have to hit a home run at the same time. You
Guilty.
know,
I'm
and
guilty.
so
I'm
they
that
spend their
driver.
last quarter in it, and then if it ain't right, You said it was this. You said I'll be good. And it's all because of the way the economy is. Drivers are feeling that pressure because y'all are not making what you should be making truly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You know.
so how does
So
that work, Alex? When it comes to like a repair, let's say you diagnose something, right?
mhm.
You think, I got an older truck. They tell me, hey, your EGR valve is bad. We need to replace the system, and the system gets replaced, and then the truck is still acting up, and the mechanic say, well, you know what, we thought it was EGR, but I think it's the turbo now. But I'm on the hook for the EGR and the turbo. How do you manage that at your shop?
Those are like I try to diagnose almost to the fullest, so I won't have to run into that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause turbo EGR, that's you have to almost hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's gonna well Detroit 60 turbos are not expensive,
That's
you
true.
know. But you talking about a Cummins, Pack Car, DD15, you talking about 5500.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to miss that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, you need a turbo and it ain't the turbo.
You saying oh, just the entire job is cost that
No,
parts and
like just a
labor
part, just a part.
for the turbo itself?
Turbo for a Cummins right now is 8 grand.
Goodness.
You know, so just me telling you like, oh, you need a turbo. Throw that turbo now. You spent your last now. You ain't made 8 grand in a month where the race is,
Right.
and then you turn around and had to ask for money. It ain't that. The stress you gonna put on me just because you stressing even more because your truck is still down, and it
Mm-hmm.
was already down a whole week. Now you're going into a second week. Now the pressure is really bad.
Yeah.
You know, so we literally.
Why?
Hmm.
Go ahead, man. I'm getting pissed already talking about this. Why does the damn turbo cost $8,000? Like, what kind of turbo costs $8,000?
Cummins
What?
always had the most expensive turbo. Even when the economy was decent, the turbo was 4 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I
It
didn't
was
pay eight
still
thousand
high.
dollars for my turbo. I mean, I put a turbo on that damn Cummins I had, the ISX. I don't know if it was eight. I know it was an eight. Maybe it was four. I can't remember. But
How
God,
long ago was it? How long
it
ago was?
it was 8 years ago, maybe
Oh
eight,
yeah,
9 years
yeah.
ago.
You probably pay about four, but you know, inflation, everything has went up, and it's
What
cheaply
is
made. It's like I think the last turbo we got to get one now. I think it's like 7,500. You know, it's so expensive. We don't do no markup. Like
what they got in what they got in these turbos? Palladium,
man,
You say
rhodium. What the
vibranium?
hell's in
Vibranium?
vibranium? What the hell's in these turbos? Where they get these turbos from? Wakanda?
ain't getting it from so ain't getting it from here.
Shit, eight thousand
They
dollars.
charge that because they can. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, they try because they can. A lot of people don't sell their turbos, so
Are they
people
remanning these turbos? Are they? Can you get a
they
reman
be
turbo?
reman. They be reman. They still
Are they
expensive.
already remanned?
They already reman. Because you know a lot of people got into the truck industry around COVID like real heavy,
Yeah.
and people wasn't working. So your turbo blew, Tim turbo blew, next person turbo blew. Just and they not mass producing enough, so they was just in rotation, barely fixing them. Turbos were not lasting. What we've been running in a lot for the past few years has been the outlet knock sensor. It
Mm-hmm.
was so bad that, you know, Freightliner would be like, hey, you got to fill out this paperwork, how many miles. Man, we was in there just swapping them out. Here you go. Just hand me another one. Because they had
Is,
gotten that bad.
is that for the deaf system?
For the deaf, yes.
Mm.
On them doggone Cascadias, right?
Yep. The outlet, for some reason, on all of them, they just bad. Inlet, I don't replace many inlet, but outlet, every week.
How do you feel about deleting deaths on them Cascadias?
I
What's
don't
your
like it.
thoughts?
I don't
No?
like it, man. Because it leaves too many open areas that you can diagnose wrong.
Really?
They be, oh, my truck deleted. I'm like, oh shoot, you losing power? Oh man.
So you got like what extra things you gotta like diagnose, like basically mark off your list to diagnose it now? Is
Yeah,
that
it cuts it off.
okay?
Like I'm not against the deletion. Like it saves you a lot of money when it's done right.
Yeah.
Oh, you save a lot of money. If it was me, I would delete my truck too, just of the headaches. You can follow the repair list. you can see your fault code and do what it's asked. You get 200 miles down the road. Now you back in Derrick for something else,
Hmm.
but you done paid 1,500 already.
Or more.
$300 for the part, and you down again. You can't even get going on something that ain't got nothing to do with your engine. Your exhaust is shutting you down and dropping your speed. So I get why people delete it. I'd rather spend 3,500 one time
Yeah.
and be done with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not against it, but everybody don't do a good delete.
Right.
And so when I think the last truck we seen, anytime somebody need an ECM, TCM, anything deal with a module and it's deleted, I say, why your truck running? Whoever deleted your truck, you need an MCM. Whoever deleted your truck, take it to them or tow it to them and let them put it on because it ain't gonna run, and they just had to re-delete it.
Mm.
So I had a truck in the yard for almost a year. He was at a gas station and his truck just wouldn't start. Had automatic.
Yeah.
He needed a TCM. And his truck was deleted. I thought maybe I can get by because I can update a TCM or program a TCM on a Eaton Ultra Shift.
Okay.
Man, I put it on, truck started. He had an International Pro Star.
Okay.
And the buzz was flashing. And the computer said could not read engine. It was looking for the engine. No engine found.
And it was a
And
basically deleted truck.
it was a delete. And I was stuck. I was like, I don't delete.
Right.
So he couldn't get in contact with the guy because it's already illegal. People dealing with cash.
Yep.
He couldn't find the guy no more.
Oh
And
man.
then other mechanics are kind of scared now to even touch anything else. They want no liability to nothing. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know. And he said he found somebody to do it. He had to tow all the way to Alabama
I've
from
heard. I've
Georgia.
heard of people doing that. I've heard somebody ship their truck somewhere in Florida to get. It wasn't. I don't think it had to do with delete, but it something that had to need to be done or whatever. Wasn't nobody around here that he trusted anyway. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, man, that was. I appreciate your honesty and transparency on that because some mechanics don't even want to touch that subject. They get nervous and stuff. Like, well, what do you
yeah.
mean? I'll delete. But you know.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't even try to learn. I was like, man, I said, if you come in here running, you'll leave here not running if your truck deleted.
right.
Yeah, man. Mhm.
I know you were speaking earlier about y'all don't really mess with what traditionally y'all didn't do small jobs like PMs and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
what is the most common repair you make at your shop?
What's been big, always pretty common, is that front cover on the Cummins ISX and the flower housing. They leak almost, and most drivers get their truck around 500,000 after a fleet then got their use out of it. I literally think I made a video on it. I said, man, if you get in a Cummins, if you see any kind of seepage around the crankshaft seal, anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, I got a leak here. And ain't no leak, well, it's showing something.
Yeah.
And when you get put another 50,000 on it, now you see the real oil leak. And drivers always go for the oil pan first. But the Cummins ISX oil pan is thick.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good. And it's not gonna leak like that. And it's always the front cover. And you're gonna be out of 3,500. If even if I gotta pay for it, hey, how much this front cover cost? Can you
Right.
reduce my financing so I can get that done? Because I know I'm gonna have to do it.
Okay. So that's and you said so is that something y'all like you're known for? People know like, hey, if I got this issue, send it to Alex.
Well, see, crazy enough, a lot of people don't know I'm down there, let alone black owned. People have been stumbling for years.
Really?
Stumbling, even now, they still stumble for
Hey,
years.
let me ask you a question. Let's go back here. You said if someone you said restructure their financing to get the front cover fixed.
Yeah, it's like you want to, if a truck costs 50K, they're going to pressure wash it, clean it up real good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell people, man, let me know before you buy it. Like
Right.
areas to really look for. Y'all are not going to look at those areas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
You're like, okay, it look good. It
right?
sound good, but they done pressure washed it, clean it up, painted it,
Yeah.
and you ain't going to run it long enough to even see anything.
Okay.
And it's something that I always say, hey, just take a peek. If you see any kind of oil, it can try to help negotiate. Just trying
Oh,
to help. Even if they don't make no move, you still make a decision on if you want to buy it or not.
how much is it gonna cost to do a front cover job like that?
They give like 24 hours. The parts, it might run like $200 because it's a bunch of gaskets.
Just gaskets, right?
It's a bunch of gaskets, but you
Got to
gotta,
pull the front hood off, coolant, fan,
yeah,
all that stuff.
radiator, all
Radiator.
of that, jack it up, move the
Yeah.
motor mounts, move
Goodness.
all the gears out the front, valve cover off, you know. And then it get
24
like,
hours.
hmm
My God.
So
yeah.
you looking at a good $6,000.
Is it that much? Ain't that high.
Nah. Cause I don't know
I
what your
probably,
hourly rate is.
yeah. Now, if you want to freight line at 250 an hour, it run up there real quick. But nah, I don't think it's for me. It ain't that high,
Okay. Okay.
you
All
know.
right.
But like clutches, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do rebuilds, but it's too time consuming.
In
And
frames? You talking about in
in
frame?
frame,
It's too time consuming for you.
yeah. Because I'm gonna have to be the one to do it.
Mm-hmm.
On top of having to diagnose somebody else's truck as they come in. Like
Right.
I have to, I'd rather close the door, leave me alone, and let me go and knock it out. I don't want to have to jump off of it because I jump from truck to truck.
Mm-hmm.
I kept a small team right now because trying to figure out what the economy gonna do.
Right.
You know, I ain't no phase of trying to grow or nothing.
Yeah.
I'm
Gotcha.
just taking it day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The day this week slow, next week busy. Like
Right. Right.
two
Right.
weeks slow, 1 week busy. You're like, man, see, nah, we small team doing what we can, and again, the quality of the parts, they're not that good.
I see that.
Mm.
They're
They
not
ain't
good.
nasty.
So I rather do crazy enough. I rather do 2 or 3 clutches who pay for one rebuild, and it's less, thought of any error.
Got you. Yeah.
So and then people have left their truck. Like they don't become quick. They don't be so quick to come get their truck. They'll say, "Oh, you're gonna be done today, done this week." It be done 2 3 days go by.
Yeah.
But they've been calling every day. Now when it's done, it goes quiet, and so they kind of leave you hanging out there. And I'm like,
Mm.
like so I'm like, swap it out. Gonna swap the motor out, get the truck back quick, and go.
So have you had people run off on you on a big job like that before?
They won't leave their truck, yeah, but they wait. The longest I've seen somebody wait was like 6 months.
What?
Yeah.
And they owed you money for the job?
Hmm.
That's tough, man.
Yeah. So I don't be nah.
What's your strategy nowadays? Like get half of the money up front, or you
Yeah.
just turn stuff like that away, or even better question, like for let's say if I bring my truck to you, you don't know me, but
Mm.
I'm just hey, I saw you got good Google reviews, 4.6 by the way, which is impressive. And I want an in frame done, but you don't know me. Are you doing it for people like that's good customer of yours, or like how does that work for those big jobs like
I
that?
don't mind doing it, but I will have to get the parts so I know somebody reputable. Because I have done an in frame where
Uh,
they bought their own parts, but they'll buy, oh, this is a good price.
yeah,
You know, the kit cost 6 grand, but they found it for two.
right.
And then you put it together, it's smoking like crazy because you want to kind of I ain't get saving money, but I rather have my hands all the way in, so I know I'm getting my parts. Somebody I
Hmm.
know that's reputable.
Yeah.
That's all they sell, so I got to deal with the headache of it. But I find that drivers now want to buy their own parts, which ain't no problem. I ain't got no issue with that.
Okay.
You find a good price, cool. I'm with it. Hey, I found a turbo for 4. Hey, go get it. Hey, go get
Yeah.
it. I ain't gonna fight you on it.
Yeah.
Because I don't make like okay. We said radiator cost 500.
Hmm.
Man, you pay the same price. So why would I mark it up when you can just get the same radiator for the same price? So I'm like, man, just go get the radiator.
So do you mark up your parts when you like get them? Because I mean, you
Yes.
gotta basically run. How does that work? Is it because like shipping and handling type stuff, or is it convenience fee?
No, it's just like you want to turn a profit. You
Okay.
know, when it comes to business, the more expensive the part is, the lower the percentage. I can't charge you 25% on a part that costs 5 grand.
Right.
You know, it might be 3%. Make a
Mm-hmm.
little on something of it, but we don't get that much of a discount if we're going to Freightliner or International.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, shoot, you might as well go. Hey, this how much it costs. You might
Right.
as well go buy it. That's how far I go with trying to help.
But sometimes
It,
people get their own part. Don't sometimes they like might buy the wrong part, and it kind of
we'll get
slows
the
the
part
process
number.
down.
No, we'll
Okay.
get a part number. Oh, here
Okay.
go the part number.
Yeah.
You know, and even radiators, we say go through 1-800 radiator because they give a 2 year. And if you the radiator go out another state, they got several locations. So we
Never
don't
heard of them.
mind like navigate help with that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have that crab in the barrel or like want to, oh, I got to see your truck to see what's going on. You tell me over the phone. I say, man, it sound like it could be your EGR.
Yeah.
And okay, cool. If they come or not. But people come because I'm giving so much information. They're like, man, shoot, I'm going over there because he just gave it to me and got off the phone.
Yeah. I
And
got
so
you.
that part helps me out a lot because, again, for a long time, we dealt with companies too.
Okay.
Um, Owner operator was very rough when my dad was coming up.
Mm-hmm.
When he started on South River Industrial before he built the shop, he ain't tell him where he was moving. He said, we dealt with companies for a really long time
What do you
because
mean
owner
by that?
operators wanted to penny pinch. Why it
Okay.
cost this much,
Yeah.
all that back and forth. So it
Okay.
was like, yeah, I'd rather deal with a fleet.
Okay. I
Somebody got
see.
20 trucks, one person.
Yeah.
Now, if you tearing up stuff, of course that fleet gonna leave.
Yeah.
But you do what you're supposed to do, getting it done, they pay, keep on going. Ain't none of that back and forth. So that's why a lot of people know where we was at for a long time. It's like, oh, there's a shop back here. It's a
Mm-hmm.
shop back here. But we had a bunch of rider truck, aero trucks, and that's all we dealt with for a long time.
How many bays you have?
6 drive through.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I was
Good.
gonna say 30 because that building looks so doggone big from the road. Look like 30
Yeah,
doors, man.
yeah, 12 doors, but just 6 drive through.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, double sided.
That's impressive. Do you still have some of those customers? Or you mix it in with a little bit of owner ops and commercial.
Yeah, I miss the owner ops. Um, I take what I know, what I did with fleets, I do the same thing with owner operators. I
Mm-hmm.
treat them a little differently than I do my fleet customers. Because since drivers have been done over wrong,
Mm-hmm.
like I like to get a driver that's been through the ringer a little bit before they come to me
Okay.
because they'll treat you as if you that same mechanic that did them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I like that ones that been through it and they see a person really trying to help. I don't get no static behind it.
Right.
I'll get static out the gate. I'm like, oh, he ain't been through the ringer enough.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
And they can't tell somebody trying to help. They be like, oh man, he working with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
see
I
what you're
don't get no
saying.
I don't get no static from that. When they was like real green, then I used to seeing a $2,000 bill, $1,500 bill. They like, man, why is it so much? I said, man, welcome to trucking.
Damn
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So and that's what helped me out. So I got way more owner operators now.
Mm-hmm.
And being black owned has even helped even more in where the economy is going.
Really?
Because there's not many black owned diesel shops. You know, you even know I was black owned, even driving by the building.
Right.
I have a secretary, she's white, you know. So when they see her,
Mm-hmm.
even if it was y'all gonna say, oh, so I'm at another white
Mm-hmm.
owned shop. It
Mm-hmm.
will give that. You can't help but think that.
Right.
Even to the size. They'll walk by, I'm looking for Alex. I'm like, oh, I'm right here. And they be like, oh, they'll shake my hand. Oh,
Hey,
I
Mr.
like it.
Alex.
They be glad,
Yeah.
you know, even more so now, because I'm like a diamond in the rough. You will never find me if you didn't know or if somebody didn't tell you.
Right.
So,
So,
yeah. Do they ever come in and be like, "Where's your boss at?"
uh-oh, lost you.
No. No. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
He froze up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's all good.
All right, we're good.
Uh-oh,
Now,
two
can you hear me?
times.
Can you hear me?
I'm good on this end. Are you good now, Alex? All right, we back. So Alex, my next question for you, man, was basically, how hard is it in this, I guess, economy and your industry when it comes to finding good help, experienced mechanics?
It's actually really hard. Any mechanic that's like experienced and decent at it,
Mm-hmm.
they want too much, but don't want to put out the volume to match what they want to make.
Okay.
So when you get to that point, you might as well be on your own.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're like, I need to make 35 an hour. Cool, no big issues, but you got to be able to turn the numbers to meet the $35 an hour,
Right.
even
Mm.
40. Even the dealers will will give you that flat rate because if you good, you'll make more money on flat rate.
Right.
But when you tell them that, they're like, I don't want to do that. I said, well,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't that good then.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you wanna ride the clock. That's how I look at it. Like,
Yeah.
shoot, they do
Mm-hmm.
2 jobs. I'm gonna get my 40 hours regardless,
Yeah.
and you be slowly declining. And
Mm.
so I've been trying to get guys that are green because I've tried the experience way. They be setting their ways
Uh-huh.
and they don't want to listen. So I rather give them 21, 25 in their 20s, and
Yeah.
I can tell them what to do. And they learn my ways. And
Yeah.
ain't gonna be no back and forth or no ego involved. So
Yeah.
I
Young
went
hungry guy. Yeah.
I went the young route. I'd rather get them young. And now I feel like it's better now since having a trade gonna be so big with this AI and all that foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You're gonna have to have a trade.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Eh,
I'm looking to bring in guys young that might not have no direction.
mm-hmm.
And they can do what my dad did for me and any other people that he got out here that's on their own.
Okay. Yeah. My mechanic, the guy I use primarily, because I live on the north side of town, and
Hmm.
he's had the same issues, man. Basically, everything you said, he bring guys in, they want top dollar. What he's been doing is recruiting at the technical college out there in Gainesville, and some of those guys are duds too, but he's able to kind of mold him like he wants and kind of
Hmm.
just make it work, But if I told you that he has the same help consistently year after year, I'll be lying. It's hard for him to find help, man. So, I know it's that's an issue within your shop as well sometimes, or you feel like you got a nice team right now.
Well, it's like every time I get two, I lose one, then lose the
Mm,
other, start over again. It's
yeah,
it's just repetitive. People don't hold their job like they used to. Like if you hire me, I want to show myself as an asset first. They don't have that mindset.
mm-hmm,
They look at how many hours. Oh, I did this amount of jobs, but how much did you make the company? Like, are you an asset? Just like
right,
you play football. You think you're gonna start if you don't show your worth?
right,
Mm-hmm.
They want to make 35 or better. But I don't even know you.
Right.
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
show me what you can do. You could have
Mm-hmm.
transferred. And I'm like, okay. Oh, I
mm-hmm,
was the best over here. I'm saying, okay. Well, you
Mm-hmm.
show
still
me,
got to show me. I ain't going to start you in front of Salim. If
yeah,
I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what you can do, I know what he can do.
yeah,
So, but they mindset is not the same. Again, the way my dad had mechanics that was there 5, 10, 15 years.
mm-hmm,
They would leave because they weren't getting enough. They tried to work with you, and it's like, I just ain't making enough. You could be doing a mechanic right, and they still leave for $1 more.
that's the
Like they just be like,
times we're
oh,
living in.
yeah, and so and I'm about ready to go to literally commission or just straight flat rate. If you want to make
Mm.
that,
Yeah,
we're gonna change our hours.
uh-huh,
I'll market accordingly because right now what drivers want is what's the word for it? They want you to really be at their beck and call. Like if I could tell you I can have your truck back tomorrow, you gonna come because you
Mm-hmm.
need to be gone by tomorrow, no matter
Okay.
what the job is.
Yeah.
And me selling that kind of service and the mechanic is decent, or I can still show you. It's not a problem. Like, hey, do this. Call me when you on the next step.
right,
drivers gonna really chase that more now versus if they get back tomorrow, they gonna be on that versus 2, 3 days. And then if the mechanic's motivated, like I could pay $50 an hour flat rate because you gonna work hard for that.
Right.
You see a clutch, I got a clutch. You gonna be like, come on, bring that on here and put it in this bay.
Yeah.
I won't have to, because I'll leave them pick up a part. Of course they slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Boss man done left, so now they kind of shooting the breeze. Now you want to get back to it, and I'm like, that's as far as you got. So I know you've been
Yeah.
playing around.
Mm-hmm.
So with flat rate or commission, I ain't gotta watch you. So anybody that tried to hire and they want to make X amount of dollars, I throw the flat rate and they always backpedal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, well, you just want to truly ride the clock. You just want to buy your time and go about your way.
So I guess that's a good way to segue into my next question.
Yeah.
Most mechanic shops they want to. Most mechanic shops they charge by the hour,
Hmm.
and then you got some shops or let's call them yards that charge by the job. Um, can you explain why it's like this, and does it have to do a little bit with like the help situation?
So we charge by the hour. So before I even fix anything, you get an idea what the price is. And we go off a labor guide so there ain't no confusion. If you charge by the job, they'll just throw a number out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's gonna come at 2 grand.
Right.
It's gonna come at 2 grand to do it. What you put your time in it? You're like, if a regular job takes 6 hours, we'll just say it'll take 6 hours to do the job.
Right.
Labor guy said, do it. And it keeps any confusion down. You know what I mean?
I
Because
find
I've
that
had customers complain about, hey, charge me X amount of dollars. They just throw a number out there. And nobody gonna never undercharge. They're gonna always overcharge.
right, but sometimes you might have let's say somebody say I got um, a head job, right? One of my
Hmm.
buddies he had to get um, let's say I think he thought his head gasket was blown or whatever in his Cascadia, and I think somebody quoted him 24 hours or
Hmm.
whatever, and after it was all said and done, it was like 36 hours or something like that. That's a big jump. Like how does those type of mistakes work sometimes?
If you don't have me personally, if you don't have a reasoning for the jump
Uh huh.
before we even get to 36, we got to be talking about what I found,
Yeah.
what can be discussed, so we can be on the same page. If you got in your mind 24 hours and I ain't told you what I did and I hit you with 36, yes, it's gonna be a problem
Yeah.
out the gate. You already don't want to pay the 24. Then you hit me with another 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely gonna be in there debating now because that's when the conversation come out. Well, I wasn't prepared for this. You told me this.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you let me know that? So to kill all that, hey, and I'll take pictures, show you. So full on transparent, so you know what's what along the way.
I don't know why more mechanics don't use their camera phones when it's 2025. I like Salim, you ever have a mechanic they doing work and they sending you pictures along the way? A lot of them don't do that. Alex, you say you do that though?
Yeah, I'll show you so you know. Like, man, I got a truck in there now with a Cummins M14. He
Mm-hmm.
was spinning his rattle. It sounded like his engine was tapping, but it sounded clear once you accelerate. So I knew that was good.
Right.
And it make you feel good. Okay, yeah, you gonna spend money, but if I know that's my fix, it cuts all the complaining.
Yep.
Yeah, again, you don't want to spend money. Who do? But at least I know where I'm spending my money at, and I know the problem is fixed. There's no guess behind it. I grabbed the belt. You can hear it rattle back and forth. I said, and I showed it sit on the table. I don't throw the part away. Full on transparency. And when I
Yeah.
see that, even if it don't fix it fully, you know this is broken and needed.
Mm-hmm.
But most time it's it because that's what we had anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? Well, shoot, I'm glad they say I'm glad you found that. I did not know.
Yeah.
So
What's your
just limit the
yeah?
back and forth, man.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So based on your experience, what is the best truck engine on the market right now?
If
Or
I
I don't even like. To me, when I think about it, we can talk about the best trucks, but it all
Mhm.
boils down to that engine. What's
Mhm.
the best? Give me your top five engines, starting from worst to best. What's the worst? Well, let's go. Let's go from five to one to five. Let's go to one to five. That's easier to do that. What's your number one
One to
engine
five,
that you?
from best to worst.
Yeah, best to
Okay.
one to five. We can go. The worst one might be eight, but let's just do your one to five that you prefer to work on.
If I had to, if Detroit 60 still the best engine out.
Mhm.
I think about if I broke down, I got a better
Yeah.
chance getting off the side of the road in a Detroit 60 all day. The mechanic that'll come out will feel better about, oh, I got a Detroit 60. They
Okay.
got a better chance of figuring out your issue.
Right.
But drivers don't like the freight shaker, you know.
Right.
Behind that, I would have to go with Cummins. They're
Is it
strong and they're real reliable.
all of them?
Cummins ISX.
The
M14 is
ISX.
phasing out.
Okay.
M14 is the best top dog, truly.
Okay.
But they phasing them out. It's hard to find parts. I struggle finding parts for the one in the shop now.
Okay.
Um, well, I'm sorry. Above all of that, the cat engine, but they hard to find and they're expensive.
Above the Detroit?
Oh my god, cat 3406. You can throw water in that sucker still run like a champ.
Is it easy to work on?
It's really easy.
But they're just expensive.
They're just expensive. Like you
Yeah.
can run 2 million on that and it still run like a scalding
Okay.
dog.
Wow.
But
You
for
said how
what's
many
out
units?
here for your money, get the best bang for your buck, Detroit 60.
Yes.
12.7 or 14 liter. I had a 12.7 turbo, $900. Man, go and put me a turbo on. Let me get going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's not even a thought. You know, oh, my battery draining. Oh, give me an alternator. Send me on my way. It ain't got all that foolishness. Either alternate or your battery.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm gone. You know, I like that for getting off the side of the road for quickness. Cummins, you might get lucky if you broke down and then somebody know what they're doing. They
Now the
might see
DD.
this equipment.
Now the Detroit DD. Did are they far off from what the 60 was, or are they still kind of close?
They dropped the ball on that one.
Okay.
They're soft, very soft engines. You can't if it say doing oil change at 10,000 miles, you better
You
do an
better
oil
be at
change at
10,000.
10,000
At
miles.
9,500. You better be at
95,
9,500.
yeah, go under, yeah, because
Yeah.
they if you look online, Facebook Marketplace, they selling the engine locked up. Oh, we got to buy for 8 grand, but engine locked up. Every other post, the engine locked up. I got two at the
Mm-mm-mm.
shop now.
Those
Ran,
those the,
spun a bearing.
yeah. It's them O-ring seals on the pickups, on that oil pickup.
That too. There's another one. I'm gonna make a video on it because I don't think people know this. The oil filter housing. There's
Mhm.
a stand up pipe in the inside that will tear up and it put metal in the system and make a spinner
Yeah.
bearing. And the truck will run good.
Yeah.
You know. But the pickup too was the number one out the
Yeah.
gate.
Hmm.
It'll I don't know why they put plastic in the oil pan, but that little cap will break off the end randomly, no reason, rhyme or reason.
Oh, I'm gonna tell
It'll
you
be
why.
just
I'm gonna
what?
tell you why. It's the engineer. They engineered it that way so that we keep them people coming back. It's like you can't make a really good thing and it lasts forever. That you go broke like that. They go broke off the 60 series.
Yeah, they go broke. The Detroit 60, man. All my trucks are
They make
Detroit.
money by keeping them coming back. It's like the money ain't in the product. It's in the comeback. It's just like the
All the trucks in
pharmaceutical
my shop.
industry.
All the trucks in my shop are Cascadias. Cascadias, DD15s, 13s. I'm Detroit 60. I'm like, well, why would I not run that what I don't work on mostly?
But let's
Don't
so let's go
feel
back to
like
the
it.
yeah. So let's go back to the list. So we had DD, we had 60 series, Cummins, ISX, and where we at on number three?
Cat.
Number three was
No, Cat would have been number one,
Cat.
but we
I say
number
cat.
we say Cat three now. You
Yeah, I
can't
say
even do
cat.
Cat right now.
I say cat for because older engines are better than new engines.
Okay.
Cat, Detroit 60, Cummins ISX, and then I say DD15.
Oh, you still put DD 15
I
four.
put it
Okay.
because
It's common, very common.
yeah, it's very common. If you can find a good one that somebody didn't ruin, they're not bad engines, to
Okay.
that extent. But after that, you know, pack Volvo. I don't
Volvo.
type their software as well. Volvo kind of they rough. Not a
Volvo?
big fan of Volvos, but they engines are solid. Yeah, the
The engine's solid.
D13s and
Yeah.
So
engines
that's number
solid, but I ain't
five.
a fan of. Yeah, then Packard and Max Force.
Okay. I don't even put Max Force on the list. I was like
Oh yeah, Max
Packard.
Force not even it stopped. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. After Packard, do they even still run Mac? Do you even see Mac Force still out there? I thought they shipped them all to Africa.
man, people buying them. The way they said once they're deleted, they run good. But people
Okay.
overseas buying,
Yeah.
they'll take
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
and redo them, and they said they
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
run real good. But
They
here,
run them. Yeah. Yeah. They didn't do
oh
well
man,
over
they're
here.
terrible with that depth all that on them. They're terrible, and the bolts break. I had my fair share. I don't fool with them. They can keep
Okay.
that. They
Okay.
can keep that in.
Good. 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 Good.
Yeah,
So I
Good.
got.
that'll be my top five.
Okay. Got you.
That's
It's
all off,
kind of
but don't mess up.
Can you expound on the Volvo thing a little bit more? Because I know people who run Volvos and they swear by them. What is your issue with the
Hmm.
Volvo?
Well, for the small business, they made this software very expensive.
Okay.
They pushed through the ringer to get it. If for me to work on Volvo, I had to buy all the tools, the
Uh huh.
software, like heavily invest in it to
Okay.
even deal with them.
Okay.
Even Mac, and the Volvo bought out Mac, who had a
Mm-hmm.
truck. They added something extra to the Mac. The truck was in D rate, and it had an inducement exit. The code was clear, the regen passed, but it had a whole separate test to take it out of the inducement or the D rate.
Mm.
And I had to call a guy from Volvo out to do it, but they got to call somebody in Savannah to get this code. Like, that's a
Okay.
lot of extra work for no reason. It ain't worth it for
Okay.
the price of the engine. And I think what turned me away is when I did the rear cover on it, because it's rear gear driven.
Uh huh.
They get like 34 hours.
My goodness.
I would never do another one. Just oh man. Um you got to take the valve cover off, the oil
Yeah.
pan gasket, the starter, the air compressor, of course the transmission, the flywheel housing, flywheel, move all the gears. The amount of stuff you have to move, like that's a job where I would close the doors and just
Yeah.
I ain't open today.
Yeah.
Just the amount of parts and tools. That's like a rebuild on a Detroit 60.
Right.
And we talking about just trying to stop an oil leak. And
Yeah.
you have to use Volvo silicone. And the silicone $100. You can't be going there and get you some regular gray silicone.
Uh,
And the plate is not perfectly centered. I had to buy two little dial pins to put them in if it's crooked. I think what scared me the most, if I was to do one wrong, to see it leak. I
yeah.
probably quit my job. I probably quit, sell everything. Like to
Okay.
crank it up and see that didn't leak no oil. Oh my gosh! I
Yeah.
said that you can have that because you might as well replace the bull gear. They make you replace the camshaft bolts, bull gear bolts.
that was a nightmare, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
Yeah.
really a
so
nightmare.
who comes up with their own silicone? What was special about that silicone versus anybody else's silicone?
I guess it won't leak with the
Nah, man.
silicone.
I mean, did you see any difference in the consistency in it or anything? Did
It
it
was
was it
pretty thick.
stronger?
It got to be. It was his own gasket maker. It didn't have no gasket back there.
Oh wow.
Like
But
that
but
was the
you
gasket maker for it.
I understand that, but you've dealt with different kind of silicones. I've dealt with different kind of silicones.
Hmm.
What made their silicone different? Could you tell a difference?
I couldn't tell no difference, but that amount of time, I wouldn't play with just using hot tip silicone that you buy at the parts store. It
Yeah.
it ain't.
No, you're gonna use their stuff.
Yeah, just because they stickler about their stuff and
Yeah.
they about their own, I rather because ain't no driver gonna want to hear anything about I got to go back in there because I wanted to kind of be cheap on silicone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just And again, you can't find their parts at local parts stores.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really keep everything in house.
Mm-hmm. How
So
the who the hell puts an engine backwards? Like that's just crazy for them. What made them do that? Because I remember I worked on the D12s, the DD12s, Volvo engines. The compressor was in the front.
mhm,
Now, and it was
mhm,
gear driven. So now they moved
yeah,
it to the back, and they moved the compressor was in the back because if the gears are back there, they just reversed everything. And I'm just like, what made them do that? It's beyond me, man.
the D12 is straight. That's almost like the way it's designed is almost like a Detroit 60 in the way it's set up.
I love
It's
that
not hard
engine.
to
Yeah,
work on. It's not
yeah.
hard to work on, But that D13, I mean, that Mack truck, he needed that after treatment injector nozzle.
Mm-hmm.
It was behind the fill filter housing. Like, why would you? Why? Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
why?
Keep
Why you
y'all
just put it
coming
on the
back.
side?
Keep
You
y'all coming
know?
back, man. Keep us coming back. Keep us broke.
Yeah. So this way design, it's just like, man, if I want to keep y'all stuff in house, y'all can keep that.
Yeah.
To
Uh-uh.
me, you know, and with the pressure of owner ops, hey, we gonna get done. How we looking? This and that and
Yeah.
that, and then it put a lot of people out of business during the COVID time because parts wasn't available.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Kearns got a lot of business off of that because you couldn't find parts.
Right.
So everybody was buying stuff used to keep going. And Volvo had a part that was on national critical back order for 10 months. And nobody could produce their part but them.
Mm.
Richard Kearns.
No,
Richard Kearns.
Volvo.
Oh, Volvo. Okay.
Yeah, so but people go to Kearns because even Freightliner, all the brands, all the makes, they weren't making enough parts for some of the most common breakdowns. So everybody was
Right.
going to Kern just to keep going. Use, I need it. I gotta keep going. I can't wait. Critical national back order, and you don't know when you're gonna get another set of parts in.
Mm,
I still got bills to pay. So people just going in and out. Just I need it just to
yeah.
keep going. And Volvo, since they really don't mess with Volvo over there like that, real heavy, you was kind of stuck. And Rush is the same way. You kind of stuck with them keeping stuff in house. Like you got to come to them for a lot of this stuff.
So stay away
Yeah.
from internationals.
International, international's cool as long as you got the Cummins in it. But
Yeah.
even some of their software, they got their own software dealing with your instrument cluster.
Everybody
So
doing it though, man. Everybody's trying to be proprietary on everything. So
yeah,
you really, it's hard to get around it to a certain degree. But
Well, I don't want to skip past earlier, Alex. You were saying that you was running your own trucks. Are you still running trucks right now outside of your shop?
no, I parked them. I parked them. It was everybody wanted to be an entrepreneur when I was in it,
Uh
and
huh.
so it was hard for me because they was looking at me. Oh, you got a shop, you got trucks. So it was hard to keep drivers because they was too highly motivated to stay in my truck because they just felt like they was just making me all this money, and I'm
Oh
over here
wow.
struggling in it.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, this is crazy. Driver, it was during the PPP era.
Right.
He said I got some good news and I got bad news. He
oh.
said the bad news is today my last day. The good news is I got that PPP loan. I said, man,
Oh God.
congratulations. He lasted.
You what?
He lasted 2 months. He lasted 2 months.
My goodness.
He was out of business
Oh
that
man.
quick because they
Damn.
get you on the upfront costs, and
Uh
then
huh.
you bought a box truck. You know, but they was so eager to get out there, and so I was like, yeah. And insurance was high, 6 grand down. And when they told me I couldn't pause my insurance, you pause it, you got to pay another 6 grand. I said, yeah, put
Oh
them over
man.
there. Yeah, I left it alone. And I don't drive, so it was like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm good.
I got you. But I think I heard you say you made sure you was running Detroit 60 series or something like that.
All
Yeah.
of them. I had two Columbias and a Classic.
Yeah. What you was
Yeah,
running? Dry vans?
drive vans. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But you don't miss it, huh?
no.
I got you.
I mean, I
It's
wouldn't
too.
mind getting back into it because I feel like where the economy is gonna go, drivers gonna be a little more loyal because the job market is not gonna be the same. Everything has to come back around.
Yeah.
People don't want to work for you. They're gonna come back and want a job because now they know what the back office look like. They
Uh.
see the owner got to wake up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and the driver just call like, "Hey, my tire blew," and they go
Right.
back in the back and go to sleep while
Right.
you out here trying to figure it out because you still got to run, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody will answer their phone at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You got to wait till 7, 8 o'clock for somebody to come out to put a tire on your trailer or your truck.
Yeah.
So since now they see what it look like, cause they had this notion like, man, I'm making him all this money, but you ain't paying none of my bills.
Right.
And you see why the owner of the truck, like, man, you got to keep rolling. You got to stay for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I need to be home every weekend. And so
Mm-hmm.
now that they see what that look like, they not gonna care what you make. They see the headache behind it. Long as I'm making, if it's 1,500 every week, 2 grand every week,
Mm-hmm.
ain't no, I ain't gonna say nothing. You know, cause that's good money to me. I ain't gonna lie. 1,500 a week with no
Yeah.
bills. Where you
Yeah.
need me to go, boss? You know, you can really do well. But they just had this like interviewing some of the drivers. They were, I need 25 a week, 32 a week. I was like,
Prima donnas,
man,
man.
we looking at the same low board. Like I can't even find it, and they were just stuck on that.
Yeah.
And so it just the time it just wasn't worth it.
I'm with you,
So
man.
yeah, I had to leave it alone.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother podcast right there. We're gonna have to do one on it. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
so we got two more questions before we let you out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you say the failing trucking industry has affected your business at all? And I say failing trucking industry in quotes because I mean, for some people the industry is good for them. What would you say? This industry that we're in versus that COVID industry, how has it done for your shop?
People are drivers are slow at paying now.
Mm,
Um, because they literally just tell me they'll say, "Man, I don't have it." Like they just straight like I ain't got it.
yeah,
They maxing out their credit cards.
yeah,
Um, and I think that's the biggest piece. And the rates ain't there
yeah.
for them to be running. Like they really risking it for $500. If they break down, they going straight under, like straight in the red.
Survival mode, baby. Survival of the
It's literally
fittest.
survival mode. I feel like it's only owner operators out there because you can manage your personal bills the best of your ability, but trying to
Mm-hmm.
manage yours and a driver can be kind of tough if they don't mind like losing a little money to kind of keep everything afloat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I've been saying. Truly, like it's really just the owner. They got their trucks parked and they out here just trying to coast through until it get better.
Yeah. All right. Last question for you, Alex, and I'm going to let you go. What would you say separates your business from other shops in the area?
My overhead is lower than most. And it's the integrity and honesty. Like I don't have to stick it to you to make a profit. I just what we've always done. If you do good work, people come back. If you show an honesty in it and you act like you care, not act like you care, people will come back. That is there's too many people that don't have customer service
Yep.
that that affects them. And when I come in a different way, um, that brings them to me. Because I'll be honest, like you work on this, no, I don't. And if I retain customers, I'll tell you that I don't like Volvos. And he said, "Man, I appreciate your honesty."
Mm-hmm.
He said, and I said, "I can do work on them, but I'm not a fan of them." So they'll call and ask, "Can you put a turbo on for me?" Yeah, I can put a turbo on. I can swap some parts. I can hook to the computer. And that alone has kept me going or keep drivers coming my way is that they'll ask me, "Do I need this?" I said, "Is the reason why?"
Mm-hmm.
And they like, "Man, he just ain't just you need this, you need that."
Right.
Well, this turbo's still running. When it starts doing this, then you might need one. And when they run to that, they're just like, "Man, you said it was that." And so that's what keeps them coming because I'm not out here just trying to make. I'm here to make money, but it ain't like, man, you gotta do this oil pan gasket. You ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
Front cover leak, yeah, it need to be fixed. But this how much it costs. Generate the money. You just gotta make sure you keep oil in the truck. And drivers appreciate that mostly. Like, dang, he just ain't he giving me game and knowing that yeah, I need it. I build up the money. I said you get the parts. Here go the parts list. They take their time, build up their parts list, and they'll just come bring me the truck. I'm ready now.
Yeah.
And it keeps the fuss down.
Right.
It keeps the anxiousness down. And
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing long enough. I see how drivers operate, so I try to help them along the way. So,
I
because you
can
got to
see that.
trust me just as much as anybody. Because if you don't trust me, I'm the one that's trying to help you keep feeding your family.
Yep.
So if I kind of let you be the driver and like, hey, you go buy your part or let you make the decision, give you like, yeah, you need this, but you can ride a little longer, but you need that. And they tend to be a little more like, okay, cool, let me go and get that.
Yeah.
And as we build a relationship, don't even question, man, go and get it done.
Yeah.
I know I need it. Go and knock me out.
Yep.
And now they'll come back. If I ain't seen a person in a while, because I tell them, fix little by little. And I won't see you like that.
Right.
But some drivers wait till it fall apart. And now I like the bad guy because now I take this apart, man. Oil leaking over here bad. Your turbo bad. Like it's pouring over here.
Yeah.
Now you think I'm gouging, but if you say, oh, oil pan gas, go knock it out. Go make
Yeah.
some money. Oh, my turbo return line leaking. Boom, knock it out. Keep on going. So we work off appointment. And at the point your truck running efficiently, and I won't see you like that.
Right.
And so
So
that's hmm,
so no no so do you so you saying is there a system that you have that you can put together like I got a driver has a DD15
hmm.
and is there something that you can do to say that look man I can keep you efficiently running outside of prevent like more like a preventative maintenance type thing like we talked
Hmm.
about the oil pickup we know we need to do that at this many miles if it's never been done or we need to change obviously change the air filters change the oil oil water step I'm sorry the air dryer cartridge a lot of people don't jump on those air dryer cartridges
They really don't
because
change them
they'll never
for
change them
real. Like they never change.
they put a lot of water through the system.
If you know that is one of the things I'm gonna do that. Like just unless you can tell me, oh, I just replace it. Okay, cool. Those one of those things I would just go ahead and do because the price of a pickup tube, $200 versus a $30,000 engine, you can't
Yeah.
go nowhere until you get that done. I'm here to help you on that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
like the DD15, the cam housing leak, you don't need that today. You might not need it for the
Right.
month. But
Right.
say, yeah,
Right.
it's leaking over here. It's when you ready.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
ain't. It's not a showstopper.
Yeah. How
So
often should you? So how often should you run an overhead on an engine?
they say every 200,000 or five hundred
Okay.
thousand. As for to do a valve adjustment,
You said 500,000.
500,000, two
Oh,
hundred
that's not
thousand,
bad. That's
depending
not
how
bad.
hard you run it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
But or you
Cool.
can
Cool.
wait
Cool.
till you notice your fuel mileage drop. If you was
Mm.
averaging 7 miles and you see it go down to 6.5, okay, I might need to go ahead and adjust my valves. Yeah, I almost had to gauge it off your fuel because it going off the strokes.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Man,
And
Alex.
overhaul, you ain't got to do an overhaul at 1,000,000 miles. If your oil pressure's still up, you don't need no overhaul. They always say, "Oh, do an overhaul at 1,000,000 miles." I'm like, for what? You ain't got no blow by. Your oil pressure reading good for what?
Mm-hmm.
When your oil pressure drop, you over 1,000,000 plus. You're like, okay, if I'm gonna do the bottom end, I might as well go and knock me out. I made some money off of it. You might decide to do it then. But
Right.
just to do it, ain't no point. Cause I know you've been at truck stops getting gas, truck pumping out that smoke at the bottom. That's compression getting past the O rings. Now you pushing like, yeah, it's time.
Mm.
O ring liners, O ring around the liners not holding that compression, and that's where you get
But
all
it
that
doesn't.
blow by come out that tube.
But there's not a lot of blow by in these DD15, the newer trucks, are there? They don't. They're capturing that blow by, right?
Well, you start replacing more crankcase filters.
Mm,
You start because you got to replace the whole cartridge as a whole.
mm. Okay.
When you
Okay.
start going through that more, or you start to see more oil out that little exhaust port, now
Mm-hmm.
you pushing it. But most time, people don't even make to that point before they lock up. So it's sad thing to say, but that motor lock up with no reason behind it. It just you be driving, it just lock up.
Oh my
And
goodness.
since it's aluminum, man, you see your red light flash, you gonna pull over, cut the truck off.
Yeah.
Once you pull
Okay.
over, it just lock up because of that aluminum. That's it.
You got to replace
So
the entire block, the long block, everything.
yeah, it'd be best to just go ahead and swap them out. So the overhaul kit, if don't quote me wrong on it, but I think that kit last time I quoted it was like 11 grand, and it was excuse me, and it was yours. Ain't no returning. Once they order that, it's your part. Ain't no
Okay.
return. So you know
Yeah.
that's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that time, you might as well go right now. Truck pricing is down. You might as well go ahead and just
Buy a new
get you
truck.
another truck. Keep on pushing. Buy a new truck. Keep on pushing.
Scrap that one. Scrap that one somehow.
Yeah, scrap it. Yeah, I'm part one out now. It's no point. Fund
Yeah.
it out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Alex, we appreciate your time tonight. People, that's it. If y'all want to reach Alex, man, tell them where how people get in touch with you, brother.
You can find me on Instagram at Alex underscore the diesel repair expert on TikTok and Instagram, or you can find me off of Moreland or Bowman Industrial Core at Alex's Mobile Truck Repair. You come check me out.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna definitely come check
Yeah.
you out, Alex. Um, I really appreciate you educating us tonight, man. And I could tell based off of how you started the interview with some of your answers and stuff, man. Honest guy, gonna keep it real with you. You come to Alex shop, he gonna let you know right away, like, hey, I can get you in, I can't get you in. It's gonna cost you this. It's gonna cost you
Mhm.
that. That's all we really want as drivers, man. That's really all
Yeah.
we want. Somebody that's gonna be straight up with us, be honest and genuine. We don't want no snake oil salesman.
Oh my God, no, you do.
Hey, that looks familiar. My boy be jamming, man. I ain't want to bring it up, Alex, but my boy do be jamming with his baby girl.
My bad, man. I had to do it to you, dog.
Oh man, if people want to do
I
so
had to
many
do it to you.
videos,
I know. Now they gonna come see you. Now they gonna come see about you.
Down to earth though, man. That's a
Yeah.
down to earth dude, man.
Yeah. Now they about to come see about you for
absolutely,
real.
What more can you ask for, man? What more can
Yes,
you ask
sir.
for? We appreciate you,
absolutely.
Alex. You have a
No, I
good night,
appreciate
brother.
y'all having me on, man. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
All
We're
right,
gonna put
y'all.
And we
all your
gotta
Like,
do this
info.
comment.
again.
We're gonna
Yes,
put all your
sir.
info in the description, man.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and we out.